In this presentation, we're going to set up organization details for our new company file. Let's zoom into it with Xero. Here we are in our Xero dashboard. This time we're jumping over to our new company file. This is going to be the Get Great Guitars file. So in other words, we are not in the demo. We are no longer in the demo. We're jumping over to our actual company file that we're going to set up. We do recommend that you set up an actual test file, such as the Get Great Guitars file. Work along with us. One of the great things about Xero to do practice problems like this, to learn the software, is you got that 30-day free trial, and you can add different company files in your software. So you want to be adding the test file, setting up the company file. Learning how to set up the company file, one of the big keys to understanding how software actually works, because when you jump into a company setting, oftentimes you don't have to set up the company file and you never get the experience of really setting up how things work. You're just kind of doing the data input after it has already been set up. So you want to set up the new company file, get an idea of how to set up the new company, even if you don't need to do that at this point in time, even if you already have some of the data. So we're going to our Get Great Guitars file. That's going to be our practice file. You could switch over in this setting from going from the demo to whatever other file you have set up. If you've only been working on the demo, you have to set up some kind of shell file to put the free 30-day trial. But if you don't have anything set up for some reason, you can add the new organization here and set one up from scratch. Then you want to be in that company file. So you want to make sure that that is the one that is selected. Then we're going to be taking a look at the settings. We got kind of like the bare information, the minimum information needed for Xero to set up the company file. Settings are then have the defaults in them. We want to add more to them at this time. So we're going to go to these settings then. Here's going to be our settings field. I'm going to hold down Control and scroll up just a bit. I'm at the 125. We've got the general, and then we got the features. We're going to go through the general first. We're going to start with the organizational details. So, because that's the top one. So I'm assuming that's like where you should start. So it's at the top left. Organizational details. We're going to go into them. First we have then include some of your information on the online invoices you send. So you can learn more about that information here. I'm not going to add too much information there. The thing we want to know at this point in time is that the invoices are the things we often will send out to the clients or customers, and therefore we may want some customization for them, and we want basically our normal kind of detail in the customer invoice, such as our display name. The name that we have put into the file will typically be populating here. That will typically be our display name unless we have some other name that we want to change it to. The legal name or trading name. Then we can put a logo in here if we so choose. So you can obviously just upload a picture. I'll just upload now just to test that out. We're going to go to the browse feature to find an image. It's probably my image is not going to be shaped the proper way. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I'm going to go ahead and upload it anyways. It's going to be this one, so we're going to upload that. I'm just going to say upload, and there we have our image. Okay, so then you can change that, remove that, change the logo and whatnot as you so choose. What is your line of business? So you can change your line of business. That's something that was typically put in place when we set up the company as well, but you can obviously change that. And just note, most of the settings that you set up when you set up the company file are not set in stone for the most part. You can go back into the settings here and generally change them. Organizational type. So what's going to be the organizational type? Is it a corporation, an exempt organization, a partnership, private foundation, S corporation, or sole proprietorship? We're going to be picking the sole proprietorship here. So we'll say it's a sole proprietorship. Business registration number. So we have a business registration number. It says here it's going to be the official registration number to appear on your documents. I don't have one at this point in time. If you got the registration number, you can put it there. Then we have the TIN number. So we have the TIN, that's going to be the tax identification numbers. An EIN number or SSN is a social security number. Now, if you're a sole proprietorship, then you may still have an EIN number, an employee identification number. You're required to have one if you have employees. So if you have employees, you're going to need an EIN number. You can go to the IRS website at irs.gov, 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 and look for the employer identification number. Also, you might need one because you might have to give information to certain people. They might want to, give you some kind of tax documents, possibly like a 1099 or some kind of document like that. And if that is the case, you have to give them some kind of number because the IRS only recognizes you as a number. You're just a number to the IRS. Sorry about that. But you're only a number to the IRS, and you either have to give them an EIN number or your social security number in those cases, and you'd rather give them an EIN number. So therefore, even if you are a sole proprietorship reporting on a Schedule C, and not on another kind of document. Therefore, you wouldn't need an EIN to report your taxes. You may still want one because you don't have any employees. You may still want one, so that if anybody needs that number for some reason, you can give them that number rather than your social security number. So it would look something like this, the 99999999 kind of setup, or at least two numbers and then a dash and then the rest of the numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in place, the 999999. That's going to be our EIN number. Then we have the organization description. I'm not going to put a description here, but obviously you can put a description. This could be like your main mission statement or your main description or your main objective or something like that. In the organization description, it has a limit here of the 300 characters. I believe it's 300 characters. Then we have the contact details. So we have the postal address. Now this is going to be important if you need information on like the shipping and billing and that kind of statements. If they're going to send you checks in the mail, then you got to give your address on the invoice would be preferable, so they know where that should go. So we're going to say then that the street, we're going to put in a mock address. It's going to be in Beverly Hills, 90210. This is going to be a home for sale. If you're looking for home for sale in Beverly Hills, it's a mock address for our practice problem. 601 Mountain Drive, and that's going to be in Beverly Hills, California. Hopefully I spelled that right. And that's going to be 90210. And the county is going to be, or the country rather, is going to be the United States, not the county, but the country. And then we have the physical shipping address. If it's going to be shipped somewhere else, you can put a different address here. You want to make sure you have the proper shipping address. Well, obviously, we're going to say it's going to be the same as the postal address. So I'm just going to click the little button. Makes it a lot easier so we can sum that up. Then we have the telephone number, the email, and the website, which we can add here. I'm not going to be adding those in this description because it's just going to be the practice problem. But clearly, once again, you would want those to appear on your major documents if you want to have your customers contacting you, such as invoices, including the telephone number, email, and obviously you want your website so you can advertise other stuff on it, on any document you send out to customers or anyone else as well.